Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am about to go where no seamstress has gone before, to Pinterest. Just kidding. Doesn't every seamstress go to Pinterest for their sewing inspiration? I know I do. But anyway, I've been getting a lot of ideas off of Pinterest lately, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna compile a bunch of sewing projects together for you guys, and you guys can come along with me as I trial and error some shirts, some dresses. There's no guarantees how they're gonna turn out, but I'm hoping that whether you're a seamstress or not, this video could be either informative or entertaining, at my expense perhaps. That's okay. But I did wanna take this time to remind you that if you've been coming back to my channel for a while and you've been enjoying the videos, why not hit the subscribe button? It's free and I'd really appreciate it. If you're new, my name is Megan Fox. I live in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I am what you would call a Mennonite. I love to sew. Not only is it budget friendly, but my imagination is literally the only limit. So this video is sponsored by Skillshare, but more about that later. So come along and let's see how this goes. Okay, so here is my first project that I want to work on. Kind of has this quilted looking stripe across the front, and I think it should be pretty easy. Okay, time to cut out the first project. So first I'm going to move all the kitchen chairs away from the table. I used to cut sitting on the kitchen floor until I had kids, and then that didn't work anymore because, as you can imagine, they just run through everything. And then I'm also going to set up the spare mirror that I have from our old house. It hasn't been having any use, and I thought, you know what, if I bring it down here, then I don't have to keep running up and down the steps. But it ended up being a bad idea because Ivani pushed it over and it broke. So yeah, not smart. Also, don't worry about my kids. They are 1 and 2, and no, I did not lock them in the sun porch. They just like to go in there and shut the door and pretend they're their own boss of their own little kingdom. So that's what's going on there. Okay, so off to the first shirt. And I first had to figure out my pattern. And for this project here, I was kind of using a hybrid of my dress pattern and a shirt that I gotten from American Eagle a couple years ago that I liked the fit of. And I'm doing it on paper first because if it happens to work out, I definitely want to have a record of it, what I did. That way I can use this pattern in the future. And if it doesn't work out, I can maybe alter, you know, what I did already or come up with another plan based off of my goof ups. And I love this fabric that I'm working with. It's like this really pretty mauve color. It is, I think, what you call a double brush poly. It doesn't have a ton of body to it. Like, it's pretty crepey and like hangy, but it's also very, very soft. So yeah, this fabric was a dream to work with. It's kind of stuck together a little bit as I was cutting it out. So as far as stretchy fabric goes, this stuff was definitely awesome. And if you're ever in the area and are looking to do local fabric shopping, I think I got this at Burkholder's Fabric. They always have tons of good priced dress fabrics. I'm just laying it out and trying to make sure I don't have any wasted fabric. This is always hard. It takes me a while to lay out stretchy fabric, but I was so glad I was working with a small piece. That made it way easier. And then I'm just, yeah, gonna cut around it, and I'll have a front piece and a back piece that look exactly the same. I'm just gonna make sure the neck in the back is a little bit higher, and I'm just gonna eyeball that, honestly. It won't be too picky. Okay, so if you're trying this for yourself, feel free to just use a t-shirt as a pattern, but you can see here I have my front and my back, and they're folded, they're doubled over. I actually decided to make the back like longer yet to see if I want to keep it that way, and if not, guys, you can trim it right off. You can always go smaller, but you can't add fabric to a piece, obviously. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. And then I have this neck, I don't know if you can tell, but this is the front, so this neck is scooped more, and this is the back, so it's a little higher up. And then here's the sleeve pattern, and now I'm going to cut a neckband, and I think I'm gonna do an accent color like it is here on the Pinterest board, and then I also have to worry about figuring out how to do the band across the front, so it's about to get a little more interesting. Okay, so here's my 2 accent colors I'm using. I think I'll do my neckband in this color because I don't think my face looks great with this color, like my complexion. So I love this color, but maybe not against my face, so I think I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, I will link a video down below about how to sew a neckband, but I basically made a 2-inch strip, and then according to my math, it needs to be 85% of the neckline over here, which is gonna be 12 inches. So 10.2. So I'm gonna cut this to be 10 and maybe a quarter. It doesn't have to be exact, so maybe 10 1/4 inches long total. And off to the sewing machine. As you can see, I'm a super like professional sewer. Look at that setup there. Just kidding, guys. This room is definitely one of the last rooms that's gonna get done on the main floor. It's just like an all-purpose, like Josh has his office in the one corner, I have my sewing area in another corner. And if you are looking to just shop your home to make a little craft area, as you can see, the table I'm sitting at actually has like a cubicle set up on top of it, just laid on its side. And then I just have baskets in there with all kinds of random sewing stuff and crafting things. Yeah, it works actually really good, even though it's not super pretty. I wouldn't recommend just going out and trying for this. I mean, it does work great, but if you have something like this sitting around in your own home, why not shop your home and yeah, use it if it's something you've had hidden in your basement or whatever. And I will link my sewing machine down below. Not that I need you to buy it or anything, but just so you know for reference what I use. Okay, I'm gonna thread the sewing machine. Of course, the bright color is never in.
I like my toes over there.
Okay, where's the button? Can I have it? Thank you. Okay, now I'm gonna, you wanna come press on the gas pedal? Come. Okay, you only do it when mommy tells you. Okay, go ahead. Stomp on it. Where's your sock? No, use your other foot. Okay, just push on it softly. See, look, now the thread's going on. See that? And yes, whenever I sew, the kids are always love to be around and like to watch. Ivani always wants to have scraps to play with, and yeah, hey, I'm fine with it as long as we're staying out of the needles and stuff. I would not mind if she wanted to learn to sew someday, but I say that now. We'll see how it goes later when she's older. Okay, so I'm fitting this shirt on in the mirror here just to see where I want to put the stripes, like how high I want them. But yeah, so I think this is gonna work out fine. It's plenty long for now, but I'll worry about that later. And let me go ahead and figure out where I want these stripes and then build the stripes. I'm gonna put the stripes in right now before I do the sleeves because they're gonna run into the sleeve hole. And yeah, I don't wanna be doing any ripping if I can help it. Okay, so I have my 2 colors here behind me and I have them just laid out. It is 6.5 inches this way, and then this I did 20, so it's plenty long. And I marked the middle. And now there's probably several ways you could go about doing this. I love this part here. This is like the troubleshooting, like, I don't know. I should probably just get a pattern or buy the shirt. That would probably be way easier. But I enjoy this part, so. Anyway, I could quilt, maybe I could cut out the different pieces and maybe quilt them together, but I think what I'm gonna do instead, cut out a shape here and cut it out a little bit smaller than I want it finished because then I'll hem it and then I'll sew the whole shemiggle onto the shirt. So we'll see how this works out. And I do have more of this yellow fabric back if I do mess up. Okay, voiceover Megan here. Did I just say shemiggle? What? Like, okay, I don't even talk like that, but whatever. Right now, my heart was like starting to like race and pound a little bit. I was like nervous. You never know how it's gonna look until you really get going, and I felt like I was a little in over my head here. I was like, how am I gonna piece this together without like quilting it or appliquing it on and have it to lay flat? And it wasn't perfect in the end, as you'll see, but I did finally get it figured out here. Okay, so look at this. I hemmed where I needed to. Now, do you see how this is all bunchy and janky and awful looking? That's totally fine, because look what I figured out. I was having a heart attack, but look, I'm gonna just go like this, and I'm gonna top stitch it down, and it's gonna look awesome. It's gonna look quilted just like the shirt. It won't look exactly the same because there's gonna be a seam there, but I think it's gonna look really cute. And I did not change my thread color because 1, I'm too lazy, and 2, I kind of like the mauve color, like it ties it in throughout the whole shirt. So I'm gonna do that step next, and then I think we're ready to sew this to the shirt. Okay, so here is the finished product. It's very comfortable. I love the colors. It's nice and long in the back. It fits me to a T. I could tuck it in if I wanted to. It kind of has the Anthropologie-esque feel to it with like the stitching on it. But I have a feeling that to a lot of people, it's just gonna look crafty. Let's be honest. I give it like a B+, I guess. I like it, but I'm not ever gonna do it again. It was way too time consuming, and I don't want to look like I'm walking around wearing a craft project, let's be honest. Anyway, my kids have been so good. I'm gonna wake Fletcher up from his nap and hang out with them for a while, and then maybe I'll sew a little bit over nap time again. By the way, all the mess in the background, when you are sewing, the rest of the house just goes downhill. You can't have a clean house and sew at the same time, I'm learning. So that's just the life of a mom. Okay, so to be honest, I wasn't super impressed with the stripe element on it, but the shirt pattern I'm gonna definitely call a win. It fit me really well, so I'm saving that part and maybe just not gonna try anything super fancy on it if I use it again. But don't worry, there's more projects coming. Okay, well I found this shirt on Pinterest and I really like it, and it happens to be I have a shirt kind of like it already in a dark blue, but it's kind of short. Sorry, my voice is echoing. It's kind of short, as you can see here. It just is like right around the waist. I never wear this shirt, and I think I would wear it more if it was longer. So I think I'm gonna take that same pattern I just made for the other shirt, and I think I'm gonna try to do it in like a tan stone color and just make it longer. 2 ruffles I think is good. I don't want another ruffle. And this fits me really well. The other shirt fit me really well, so I think I'll just use the other shirt pattern and see what I can recreate here from my Pinterest board. Okay, I wanted to take a quick break and talk to you guys about Skillshare. If you are new to my channel, then you might not know that Skillshare is an online learning community. I love it because it teaches me so many different things. There's actually some sewing videos on there. There is a yeast dough recipe on there you guys can learn about. I have recently been watching videos about branding and just different stuff for my YouTube channel, as well as some interior design and graphic design stuff. I love it because I consider myself a lifelong learner. I want to continue learning no matter how old I am, and I feel like Skillshare is not only fun, but actually beneficial in my life. So if Skillshare sounds like something you might be interested in, go down in my description box when you're done watching this video, hit that link, and the first 1,000 people are gonna get 2 months of Skillshare for free, so you can try it out, see if it's for you. I'm pretty sure most of you are going to love it. There's a whole tab that I want to explore more about productivity and time blocking and things like that, but I haven't gotten there yet. So if you get there first, let me know which ones are the good ones. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the sewing. Okay, so I finally wrestled this fabric into submission, and I figured it out that I want it to be about 24 inches long finished. And this shirt here, you can see it's more just like straight cut because it's like flowy, whereas the one I just made was more like had a curve to go with your body. But I want this one to be nice and loose and just flowy because I'll wear it with like fitted skirts. I like that look, like loose and then fitted. It looks like they sewed this bottom ruffle to the bottom of the shirt and then this one just up higher. I'm not sure how they did that. Well, I will figure it out as I go because I'm just shooting from the hip here, guys. So the bones of this shirt is pretty much just like the other one, except at the armpit, I'm cutting straight down and out a little bit rather than curved. That way it's just more like loose and flowy. And I had mixed feelings about sewing this shirt. One, it's really my style. I really like it, the loose and flowy than with like a pencil skirt. But with my age and stage of life, I feel like people start getting suspicious when I wear, stuff like this. It looks almost like you're trying to disguise a pregnant belly or something, which I am not doing. I'm not pregnant, guys. But I did always wait a while to tell people that I was pregnant with my kids because it was just something fun that me and Josh could like keep a secret for a while. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. So we ended up telling both families, I think around 13 weeks with both of our kids. And yeah, it was always like, man, now we don't have that secret anymore. But yeah, I just thought I should clear the air in case you thought that's what I'm sewing, a maternity shirt here or something. Nope, not now. Okay, the bottom of my shirt here is about 10 inches across, which this is folded over, so technically 20 inches across. And then the fabric I have left here is about 17 inches across. And so I think I'm just gonna cut out 2 strips, 17 inches, and then just ruffle it on and yeah, see how that looks. If it's too full, then I'll just have to back it off a little bit, I guess, and do some ripping. That's the problem with trying to do things off the cuff. Yeah, you might have to rip. Anyway, but that's what I'm gonna try to do. Does anybody else sew with this like living on the edge feeling? Probably nobody else does because they just follow a pattern, unlike me. But I feel like I'm always just slightly nervous. Is this gonna turn out or not? Even when I am sewing with a pattern though, you never know. I don't know. You never know until the finished product. So I guess a camera would also make things more nerve-wracking because you guys get to see if it flops. Anyway, let me sew this shirt together now. This shirt had like a slightly shimmery side and then a more fuzzy side. I sewed the fuzzy side in again, that way it's against my skin, and I just know that the slippery wrong side of the fabric just seems to wear better, and that's the part that people can see. So that's how I decided to just sew it. But yeah, just remember you don't have to sew the right side out always. Some of my favorite dresses are sewed with the fabric, you know, using the wrong side. And here you can see that I'm having strawberry lemon water. I really love this combination. Sometimes I'll even throw some basil leaves in too. And I do have it in my Teamy tumbler. I just thought I would mention that I always do have a Teamy discount code if you're ever going to order something. And I will put that down in the description box. I think I get a small commission if you guys use it. I'm not actually sure, but I know that you guys will get a discount. So if you are planning on ordering anything from Teamy, powders, teas, their tumbler, whatever, yeah, you might want to check that out. I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial on a lettuce leaf edge if you've never done one. It's a nice cute way to do a hem. You just sew the hem inside out so that the actual hem is visible. You'll see in a second. But basically you want to edge your fabric really nicely. So I have the exact same color thread as my fabric here, and I'm going to just sew right along the edge with the tightest zigzag possible on my sewing machine. So I'm going to put my zigzag way up. Okay, so it's going to be zig, 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 zig. And then I'm going to make sure I'm going to put my stitches really tiny, like almost down at the bottom, so that they're going to be really, really, really tight. And then it's just going to like go back and forth on the edge. So I'm going to stretch as I go from the front and the back, and then the fabric is going to like shrink up because the thread is pulling it, and it will give this like cute little, yeah, just like a ruffly effect. So you'll see in a sec. Let me start. And if you're wondering about the seam allowance, I am just actually running it right along the groove of the foot, just so that the needle is on the fabric. So there's like 0 seam allowance. Okay, I have a video chat here for a YouTube meeting, so I'm gonna just hang it up for now, and I will come back later when I'm ready to sew the ruffles to the shirt. Okay, so you can see here I marked where I want to sew my first ruffle on. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm also, while I'm over here marking, I think I'm also just going to measure up 2 inches and draw the next line for my second set of ruffles. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. This is trial and error, people. Okay, so here it is. What do you think? Pardon the ice cream cone socks there. I actually really like it. I love the color very much. It turned out like it fits nice. I feel like it looks like I'm trying to hide that I'm pregnant or something. I don't know. But I really like it with this fitted skirt. Like it's just loose and flowy. I like it. I just don't know if I like it on me. I'm gonna give this one a B-. It's a really pretty like dusky gray. It almost looks purple on camera. It's not purple. And yes, we already mentioned the mess earlier. Ruffles take forever to do. I feel, oh, all that stuff is up because Rocky just ran, which is our vacuum cleaner. So I lifted everything off the floor so it could go. Yeah, I like it, I think. The more I wear it, the more I like it. Okay, so this dress I made a couple weeks ago. I really, really like it. It's so soft and comfy. I love the little florals on it, and I just love it. It's like a prairie skirt. And I just kind of made it up as I went along, and I really like it, but I want to make a shorter version of this because this is just not something I am quick to throw on to like just do housework or run errands. I went to the greenhouse and the skirt of this dress kept getting caught in the wheels. So I want to do this dress just practical. So I found these skirts here on Pinterest that I think look so cute, but I'm afraid if I make it a skirt, then it's just not near as versatile. So I think I'm actually gonna turn it into a dress instead, like this one down here, and then not do long sleeves because that's just not as practical. But I think it will still look cute, and I like the varying lengths of the ruffles, so I think I'm gonna do it like this one right here, and have the long ruffle and then a shorter ruffle and then a really short ruffle, and then I'll have it to be like a mid-calf dress. So I started with the bodice and I just cut that out pretty much like I always do. Okay, so here's a little trick I like to do. I actually cut out my bodice twice. So here's the front and the front again. Here's the back and the back again. And then instead of making a facing that always like flops out and you know, it's so annoying, or doing a t-shirt hemline, which is great, I like that, but it looks pretty casual. And you see what I did here? I did this super sweet, subtle sweetheart neckline. I'm excited about this. I just kind of freehanded it. So we'll see how that looks, but I have a little subtle point right there. Anyway, you're not gonna do a neckband for that. So I just actually double the bodice, and some people wear cape dresses, which that would serve the same purpose, but say I have 2 fronts and 2 backs, and then that will work as my lining, and also it makes the dress sturdier. You don't see like lines underneath your clothes. Yeah, this is just how I often do my t-shirt dresses, and it takes a little more fabric, but it actually saves time in the end, I feel. And then it was time for the skirt. So I cut the top of my skirt just like normal, and then I had to do some basic math to try to figure out how long I wanted the total skirt and then how long I wanted each ruffle after that. I went into long detailed explanations here, and I decided just to streamline this for you guys. If you are wanting to sew a dress like this, I'm pretty sure you can figure it out on your own. Just figure out your total desired length from your waist to the hemline, and then decide how long you want each ruffle. I would just give you one small tip. Be careful that you don't have your first ruffle starting at like a problem area. I was careful not to have it going right across my butt. I didn't want that. And it also not only looks a little odd and adds volume where you don't want it, but it also doesn't feel comfortable when you sit down. So you might want to be a little bit careful about that. But yeah, it's totally up to you. Just make sure you take that into account as you're cutting your different length ruffles. So there it is. I have the front, the back, and those are both doubled so that, you know, like I explained earlier, so it's lined. Then I have the sleeves, 2 of them, and then I have the skirt, and everything is 2 of them for the front and the back. Okay, we're ready to sew. Okay, it is literally 2 weeks later, and that might surprise you, but not me. That's how things go. We were doing a bunch of outdoor projects and some interior stuff. So I'm back to sewing again today, and I decided to move everything out to my kitchen because I have some projects going on in my sewing room that I didn't feel like moving. It was just easier to move my sewing machine out here. So I will be sewing in the kitchen for this portion of the video. This dress is gonna go together, I think, pretty much like normal. I cut it with a double bodice, short sleeves, yeah, super simple. Darts in the bodice to give it a little bit of shape, but the skirt is gonna take a lot of time because of the ruffling. Okay, those of you who sew out there, do you ever feel like you sit down to sew and literally everything goes wrong? Like the bobbin is empty, the color is wrong, the sewing machine jams up, it doesn't sew. Oh my goodness, everything is going wrong this morning. I have been sewing for like 10 minutes already and I've gotten nothing done. Oh, so aggravating. I just feel like it snowballs or something, I don't know. Anyway, So I'm cutting my dress out of my sewing machine, cleaning it all out and starting over. My bobbin, I guess, fell out of the socket down here. So I'm gonna rethread that and try again. Fletcher to go sleepy sleepy? No.
Why now?
It's not time yet. It's only 9:53. What are you guys playing down there? You playing with your kitchen?
No. Where does Franklin's books?
Playing with books.
I know that you and Daddy.
Okay, I just wanted to point out that I just sewed my neck. I sewed a double bodice, so that's kind of the facing inside. But you see how I love that neckline. It's like a sweetheart type of neckline. And I could top stitch it down. And I was actually going to do it, and then I thought, you know what, I don't want that harsh line, like making it look so geometric at the neckline. So I'm actually just going to iron it down really well, and it should stay totally fine. Because it'll also be held in at the shoulders. I'll sew it in at the side seams, and yeah, I think I'm really happy with the neckline. It was a bugger to get in. I had to like be really slow and careful, but it looks symmetrical to me.
And then when the right comes up there, put the right up from the neck again.
Wow, you have a very scheduled baby.
And then her gonna wake up from her nap. Can I let her bed up?
Can I see the baby here? This was my baby when I was a little girl. Let me see her face. She's very orange. She has a very orange face.
Her bump her head this morning.
What?
Her bump her neck.
On what?
Her broke her.
Here comes Fletcher.
Her broke her arm in the morning.
Wow.
Piggy.
You're getting good at coloring with that. Do you need more water?
See Piggy?
Oh, it appeared. Look at that. These things are so awesome. Keeping her very occupied. It's a Water Wow book. I know some people love these for church. We try not to get this like intense with church toys, so this doesn't usually come with us to church or anything, but it is nice if you wanted to sit still. Car rides, whatever. Okay, so if you're wondering how fast I can sew with 2 kids around, actually Fletcher's taking his nap right now, so that's really nice. He takes about like a quick half-hour nap in the morning. I got everything sewed together except the 2 ruffles on the bottom skirt, and those are gonna take the longest because I have to do a gathering stitch and all that stuff. But the bodice is sewed, the sleeves are on, it's hard to tell. I pressed the neck down. But yeah, so now I'm ready to add the next 2 flare ruffles on the bottom of the skirt and then sew up the side seams, do some hemming, and then I'll be done. Okay, so far this project has been really basic and simple, but now comes the gathering on of these ruffles. Now these ruffles are too long, right? So I need to put a gathering stitch in so it ruffles it up and takes up less space. So I'm gonna actually just use a number 5 stitch, so that's like the biggest my sewing machine will go. I'm not gonna do any back stitching or anything. I'm just gonna sew a stitch the whole way along here. This is the whole thing, right? And then when I pull the stitch, it's gonna gather the fabric up and make it more ruffly, and then I can sew that ruffle onto my straight part of my skirt that's attached to this dress. So I'll just show you after I have some gathering stitches on. Okay, truth be told, it's another day. I had to stop. So here is the progress. I have the dress, the first part, and then I sewed a number 5 gathering stitch the way across, which means a really big stitch, and I didn't back stitch, so now I can pull this and it'll gather up together. And so basically it'll bunch this piece up so it's just the right length, and then the same with this one. So that's how you get gathers. They're fun, but they're time consuming. Where did I buy that? I think that came from the dentist. When you went to the dentist, they gave it to you for free for a prize. So yeah, gathers are lots of fun, but they are kind of a lot of work. Okay, here it is. Oh, I love it so much. It's so cute. There's the floral pattern again up close if you can remember what it looked like. For some reason, I feel like I should pull it up a little bit. Like it feels a little bit tight here and loose here. I don't know, I'm not sure what happened because I use the same pattern I always do. But yeah, it's just like the subtle gathers at the bottom there. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is this neckline. It looks really cute up close, but then from a distance, it looks like I tried and failed kind of. Like I think it needs to be more dramatic. It's cute up close, but yeah, like I said, far away, you can hardly tell that it has like that subtle sweetheart neckline. So hey, now I know for next time, cut it a little more dramatically. But yeah, I'll be wearing this one. It's so comfortable and easy and throw it on and go. Like that's what I love about dresses. So did you like this video? Let me know down below which project was your favorite. For me, for sure, it's this dress. I just love it so much. It's so comfortable. I know I'll be wearing it all the time. And if nothing else, I'm sure this video solidified that I am not an expert seamstress, but I do enjoy experimenting and trying out new things. There's just nothing like being able to make something that you imagine in your head or that you saw on Pinterest. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, what else you'd like to see me sew. This is not a sewing channel per se, but it is a hobby of mine, so I do sew occasionally. And go ahead and share this video with anybody you know who likes to sew. I love it when you guys share my channel out. I really appreciate it. Check out Skillshare if you have not already. I will see you all in the next one, guys. Bye.